I was with my daughter watching this video of these tiny robots that some ingenious Stanford students have invented. And what's extraordinary is these robots can lift 2,000 times their weight. And I told her, honey, if you could lift 2,000 times your weight, you could lift up a whale. And she said, that's awesome. I'd be a superhero. But why would I want to lift up a whale? Well, that got me thinking, what if you did have the power to lift the weight of 2,000 people? Or what if you were the kind of superhero who could lift the lives of 2,000 people just as easily? These kind of superheroes do exist, and you might already be one. There are people like that teacher or that waiter who automatically puts a smile on your face, or your team member who works extra hard and always finds time to give back to the community, or that business owner who demonstrates that we can, in fact, balance people, planet, and profit. These are my kind of superheroes. They're positive, they're powerful and purposeful, they're creative and compassionate, they're authentic action takers. And you know what I call us? I call us lifters. Lifters. Lifters are everyday, ordinary people who elevate their companies, their customers, and their community. Lifters aren't defined by your age or your gender or your race or your title. No, lifters are defined by an attitude and the actions that we take. And I'm here to tell you, lifters are the future leaders of the world. The new titans to disrupt what's broken and create new solutions to some really big problems that we have. Problems like the need for innovation, or finding and motivating great workers, or engaging customers in the world that's so full of noise and mistrust. Companies around the world are realizing that lifters are an amazingly powerful group of influencers and the new leaders that they all need. And according to the Harvard Business Review, companies that adopt conscious practices like the lifter leadership we teach perform 10 times better than others. 10 times better. Imagine you were 10 times better at what you do. Now, this isn't the first time that a group of people came together to reshape our future. Remember the nerds and the geeks? During the internet revolution, they were leading us because of their love of technology. So I say bravo to all the nerds and geeks out there. Great job. But now we've entered a new era, one defined by creativity, compassion, connection, cooperation. And lifters are the ones that lead us this time. It's a revolution of consciousness. And it's like the next level of a game, the new wireless. And I think it's bigger than the internet, and I'm not going to miss out. Now, I can't say that I've always been so enlightened. When I was a student at Harvard Business School, I learned to be very effective at targeting customers, hunting for them, capturing them, segmenting them, and then having my share. That's been the mindset of business and society, hasn't it? Hunter, hunted, predator, prey, me, not we. So how did this mindset take such a strong hold? Part of the reason is due to a misunderstanding of a famous biologist you may have heard of named Charles Darwin. If you ask people, what did Charles Darwin teach us? Most people would say survival of the fittest. But in Darwin's research on human evolution, he only mentions the word survival of the fittest 2 times. Twice. He mentions competition 12 times. And then he mentions mutuality and cooperation 27 times. And guess what word he used to describe what propels human survival, evolution, and ascension? Guess what word he used 92 times? Love. 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 For the past 150 years, we've been operating based on a misunderstanding of Darwin's research in his book, The Descent of Man. It's a big mix-up. I think Darwin had a really bad PR agent, don't you? I think we should throw that guy to the lion. Anyway, here's the good news. The hunt is over. It's over. Lifters don't need to hunt and capture and target customers. No. Lifters attract customers. They serve them, inspire them, lift them. This is the first lifter mindset. It's called the hunt is over. A mindset, it's kind of like a hack to get to the next level really fast. And my team and I have discovered some very specific mindsets to be lifters and learnable skills. And this is the first one. The hunt is over. Think about how that might affect you as a worker, as a customer, or as a future leader. So I'm going to share 3 mindsets with you so you can get right to work being a lifter if you'd like. You ready for that? Yes. Okay, great. Now, in America, 7 out of 10 workers are what we call disengaged. That's just a fancy word to say they don't care. I think in Hong Kong, you call it ho hey. Right? Part of the reason this is happening is they haven't been shown how to lift. If I were a millennial, which, if you're wondering, I'm not, I'd be really offended. I'd be offended at the criticism. Lazy, right? Entitled, unfocused. Look, the young people have always been criticized by the older generation. When I was a kid, my dad used to say, these kids today, head banging to rock and roll and just looking at the TV all day. And we only had 12 channels. And we had to get up to turn them. And sometimes you'd have to hold the antenna and stand like this in order to get a good signal. So just be lifters. That's all you have to do. Power up your magic, and you'll be more successful. And your parents will be proud and happy, like mine. You all are much more natural lifters. I have to admit that. And part of what you can do is you can teach us how to unlearn this old mindset. So that's what I ask of you. But please be compassionate and patient with us. And we need to do the same for you. So instead of seeing you as lazy and entitled, let's give you a purpose that you can really believe in. Let's show you what integrity looks like. And let's let you express your uniqueness. And then you will fly. I know this. And more companies and your teachers are recognizing this too. Lifter mindset, number 2, we call have a yes and attitude. It used to be they'd say, hey, are you good with numbers? Or are you a creative type? Or are you a people person? And you had to decide which of these boxes you were. Companies that are embracing lifter leadership, they want yes and people. And so lifters say, yes, I am good with numbers. And I'm creative. And I'm great with people. And I take care of my grandmother. And I can ace my homework and binge watch my favorite show at the same time. And. So think about which of your yes ands will take you from being an ordinary kid to extraordinary. Because what I found in my 25 years of teaching innovation is that it's at the intersection of yes ands that diversity is really honored and great ideas are born. Part of being a yes and person is just be you. Be you. Find what you love. and pour yourself into it. You get to decide what kind of lifter you want to be. Lifter mindset number 3, we call truth or consequences. What we mean by that is, this is a time where we must have integrity and act with authenticity as a default way of being. What's really cool is the younger generation, you're all particularly attuned to authenticity. It's like a whale can hear a song thousands of kilometers away. You can sense inconsistency, can't you? And you move forward toward companies that you feel are authentic, either as workers or as customers. And you move away from hypocrisy, or you just go, oh, hey. No longer can a company do nice charitable work with one hand and then treat their workers with disrespect on the other. Lifters will just call you out. Now, here's where I come clean. A few weeks ago, I was working on my book and working at home, and I was a bit stressed, and I took it out on my kids. Yes, yogis like me sometimes get stressed too. And I was like, would you guys be quiet? You're really annoying me, and I got to finish this chapter on the power of positivity. It's crazy, right? We do that. And my son would call it an epic fail, what I did. Anyway, parents mess up sometimes. We're not perfect. None of us are. But we can be lifters. Because you see, it's not that you are or are not a lifter. It's how do you show up in each moment. I'm usually a pretty good lifter, but then, not so much. I was a downer. So, shall we review the 3 lifter mindsets? Yeah. Great. Lifter mindset number 1 is the hunt is over. Lifter mindset number 2 is have a yes and attitude. And lifter mindset number 3, truth or consequences. Let's talk about your future job, shall we? In the future, artificial intelligence and robots are going to take more jobs that are oriented around math, logic, and manufacturing. These things are easier for machines. But creativity, compassion, consciousness, and love, the machines aren't quite there. And I placed my bet on young lifters. My youth is yours to carry forward, because I believe that if you combine lifter skills with science, technology, and engineering, you'll invent all kinds of solutions that rise above any problems that we have. You know, in yoga, we teach that each of us is a marvelous blend of different energies. And what's happened is society has been dominated by that hunter, aggressive energy for too long. Now what's happening is lifters are bringing this full spectrum of energies into balance. The energies of creativity, compassion, and the interconnectedness of everything that's starting to reconcile ancient wisdom, quantum physics, and modern neuroscience. What's happening is really, really amazing. So, here is your clarion song, okay? This is your whale song, your head-banging superhero anthem. Whenever you see or hear words like raise, elevate, or lift, consider these a sacred song written for lifters, a calling from your future, saying bravo, and reminding you of what you are, what we are, and what we're all here to do. Lift, lift, lift. My name is Paresh Shah, and I am a lifter.